Hey yo, you are now watching The Master at Work. Welcome to Raw React. Like, comment, subscribe. We on the road to 100K. So if you enjoy the content, hit that subscribe. Let's get to the video. Yiddy. Can ESBC be better than arguably the greatest boxing game all time? Fight Night Champion? I think so. This is my wish list of what the game needs to be better than Fight Night Champion, guaranteed. Now, before we get started, if you're new here, I go by the name of Ra, and I am the king of the classics. I play all the classic games. You name it, I play it. So if you rock with that, if you want to see me run it up on ESBC, hit that subscribe and hit that like to join the Noti gang fam right now. Then we're going to get to the video. Now, after seeing the gameplay from ESBC from that trailer, my boy, it looked like it got a lot of potential. Now, in the gameplay trailer, they mentioned that they got more financial backing. So we're gonna push it to the limit so we can help them make a classic. Before we get started, I wanna know your favorite fighting game of all time. Now let's get to the list. Now, number one was the roster, and it looked like that roster ain't gonna disappoint, so we ain't even gonna talk about that. The more fighters, the better. Guaranteed to make a banger when you can fight with your favorite fighters. All right, and speaking of that, I want the ability to face scan, download, import. A reason for Fight Night Champion longevity is that it's so many fighters. You can download, you can import them into your story. It keeps the game fresh, you know what I mean? You can, and with today's technology, if somebody doesn't agree to be in the game, we can make them. And with the in-depth creation tools they have, we can make a pretty accurate Floyd or a pretty accurate Mike, you know what I'm saying? Crispy graphics. They done already excelled on this, as y'all can see in the gameplay that's on the screen right now. But that's so important, crispy graphics. And more important than that, when I go online, I want a seamless online gameplay. That's so important. With today's technology, that can make or break the game. It needs to feel like we in the same room playing, no lagging. You know what I'm saying? If my internet good and my opponent's internet good, it need to feel like they sitting right here losing, all right? Getting knocked out in the second round. You know what I mean? No lag online, that's so important. Online titles and ranking system. That's important. You know, when you get that #1 rank, or you know what I'm saying, when your rank high, if you want to be the champion in the world, that system has to be organized and it has to be, you know, worth grinding for. So I hope they get that right and kind of emulate Fight Night, but make it better. Next, we gotta punish the spammers and, you know, the cheesers for cheese. If you garbage and you spamming and you get Deontay, not saying he in the game yet, but if you got Deontay Wilder and you just spamming the right hand, you know what I'm saying, with no punishment, no penalty, it got to be a way to counteract that. You know what I'm saying, to keep it organic, keep it copacetic on the online tip. You know what I'm saying? The online has to be balanced, you know? It has to be tactical. It has to be fair, I should say. I feel like the skill gap needs to be prevalent. If you have a boxing IQ and you a good gamer, you should always be somebody who don't know nothing about boxing and ain't even good at playing the game, if that makes sense. So that balance is important. If you're rocking with the list so far, make sure you punch that like button in the chin right now. Another thing that I feel like Fight Night Champion lacked was the attention to cuts, fight stoppages, swelling, and the penalty that comes with it. And I know it's not the easiest thing to do, but if I'm popping you right here and it's bleeding and you can't see, the refs just come in and stop it. Or if it's swelling and it's shut, the ref should come in there and stop it. You know what I mean? Or if you're not defending yourself for a minute, cause you that stunned and you don't fall down, y'all know, the ref should come in there and stop it, you dig? So I think that's something that can, for sure, take the game to another level. You know, when the cut man, they put that, it'll make the cut man more important, and it'll have that balance. And as a fighter, you gotta change your whole game plan. If you got a cut right here, you gotta protect it. And the damage that come with it, it needs to be a penalty. So if I hit you right, pow, right on your damn eye socket, and it swell up, you know what I mean? Your health should correlate with that. It should be a bigger, you know, damage than if you had a fresh eye, you know what I'm saying? Next, elite commentators. I feel like technology, with the way it's going, there should be no excuse. And it's so underrated that the commentary in the game is on point. You know what I'm saying? They might have to bring my boy Teddy Atlas, you know what I'm saying, Sean Porter, you know what I mean, Andre Ward, them type, you know what I'm saying? And even Snoop Dogg. You know, they're gonna have to pay the bag for them, but you know what I'm saying? Even if it's only a few people, the commentary is so important for me. And it makes it feel like you're really in the ring. So I hope they invest in that time to make sure that it's not generic, that it's energetic and it's authentic. You feel me? And it's accurate. You know, a good thing about Fight Night Champion, that boy Teddy Atlas, I mean, once you play the game, you heard it about 1,000,000 times, but that was years ago. Now I know they can do the variety of commentating. Next, points taken away. If you hold in too much or anything, points should be taken away. Accurate judging is so important. So like, I know it's not the easiest thing to do because it's an AI, it's a computer, but the more accurate the judging, the more realistic the fight's gonna be. But nowadays, the judges don't even know how to score the fight. So I hope that ESBC takes into account, you know, power punches versus, you know, punches that didn't do anything, you know what I'm saying? Versus, you know, impactful hits, you know? I feel like we should be rewarded when we have a better round than the other person, you know what I'm saying? Online sparring sessions, I think that would be so dope. They had the open gym in the trailer. I'll post it right here. I think it would be so dope to be able to like spar, you know, no punishment, but just to work on your craft without it affecting your record. And it could be like a little tournament in the gym, you know? And they could have mini gyms. I know that'll take some time, but that's something that they could work on, feel me? Tell me that don't sound fire. Next, in the story mode, age progression and attribute loss. So once you get to a certain age, your speed should slow down. You know what I'm saying? Your reaction time should slow down. You know, if you get knocked out, it should affect you more than when you in your prime. You know what I'm saying? And that, I think that'll help keep it realistic. And then when your fighter get older and you go online, you know what I'm saying? He's not gonna be the young whippersnapper in his prime. So it'll make you have to choose when to chill out on your fighter. You know what I mean? Next, online spectation of fights. Now, if it's the top 2 in the world, and they got the top 2 fighters in the world, and they fighting for the world title on ESBC, we should be able to watch that together. You know what I'm saying? Spectating would be so important, and I think it'd just be dope content. It would really just promote the game itself, you know. And on top of that, it'd just be dope to watch. Online spectation of the championship fights would be fire. And then, of course, the sparring, too, because we'll be on the outside of the ring waiting. It's like real. You know, I think that can make it a classic and add to the longevity of the game. Yiddy. Now, I'm going to break the rest up is, you know, story mode and just creating your fighter. I think you should be able to move up weight classes. That's so important to me. Like, if I start as a middleweight, I want to be able to move up to a heavyweight and get all them belts, you know? And, of course, your power will go down. You know, it has to have an accurate drop-off. You feel me, when you go up. But that, I think that would really set this game apart from the games in the past, to be able to move up in weight and have the punishment and be rewarded when you actually overcome that obstacle. You dig? Next, unified belts. Like I just said, being able to unify belts and weight classes, you know what I'm saying, fighting the champs, and then, you know, having, I would say mandatories, but it don't even got to be that deep. Just having options to fight other people for their belts, move up, take their belts, move up, take their belts. It's just going to make the story mode real fire. Speaking of story mode, us creating our fighters on this technology with new face scans and, you know, accurate attributes makes you want accurate drip, all right? And if you don't know what drip is and you're a little old school, it's the swagger, it's the flavor, the tattoos, the haircuts. It's everything that can make us feel like us, you know what I'm saying? Or even if you break it down like 2K, you could really create a internet version or a game version of yourself. So the attention to detail on there and giving us a lot of options can help us be unique in the ring. Next, training. Training that actually helps you get better at the game, you feel me? Training that actually pushes you to learn. So for the people that ain't as, you know, cold on the controllers, they can actually improve by training and not just going online and getting their ass kicked. Because if you've ever had your ass kicked on a video game, that skill gap is hard. And in boxing, what? You gonna get knocked off. Fug out, you dig? Next, a competitive AI. I wanna be able to play this game for years, you know what I mean? I wanna be able to play this game for years, so a competitive AI, you know what I'm saying? If I fight Mike Tyson in his prime, you know what I'm saying? I want it to be accurate. If I fight Ali, I want it to be accurate. If I fight Rocky, I want it to be accurate. You know what I'm saying? If I fight Roy Jones in his prime, I want it to be accurate. You know what I'm saying? I want them to be able to pick up on what I'm doing wrong and punish me for it, like actual boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's so important. It's the little attention to details that can make this a 10 out of 10 home run, knock it out the park. I already spoke on being able to import, download fighters, things of that nature, but that's important, man. And being able to share fighters, I think that's dope as well. And you know, the creative people can get the fighters they want in the game. You know what I'm saying? And next, these are just kind of general statements I think that could really push it over the top. I hope y'all enjoying this. We not done. I got the intangibles right now. And I got a question of the day at the end for y'all, and I can't wait to get y'all answers on it. Now, the intangibles is a fire soundtrack. ESBC, if you watching this video right now and y'all need some good music, holla at me. I had y'all soundtrack heat, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Next is the speed versus power dynamic. You know, I want you, whoever you pick, you have to fight in their strengths or get punished for it, you know? If you in there with a slugger and you trying to work and your jab ain't working, you should be penalized for that. If you a speed fighter and you in the trenches fighting with Joe Frazier, you should be punished for that, you know what I'm saying? That dynamic can lead to classic fights on this game. Next, a simulation versus arcade switch. And in the gameplay trailer, they had the blocking where you could pick if you wanted to do simulation was more realistic, you get punished for messing up, or more of an arcade feel where it assists you with where you're blocking at. I think that's a great principle, and I think it should be expanded to more than blocking, you know? It could be a mode or something that's like an arcade mode. Keep that separate. For the people that's really cold, they know what they doing, you know, have them, and then have the people that's more, you know, spam in their own lane. You feel me? A classic fights mode, that's a fight night staple, is the classic fights mode. But you know, y'all got so many fighters, that option would be dope to recreate those moments on this new engine. And last but not least, this is like a dream, you know, thing, and this is like a dream idea, and that's backyard brawls. Similar to the bloody knuckles or whatever that they had in Fight Night, but in the backyard, nothing too crazy. But just, you know, something fire like that with the new engine, man. I just think it'd be fire since they're implementing so much new technology. To see how a bare fist crack off of somebody's skull is gonna be crazy, man. Now, this is my list. Do you think I missed anything? Let me know in the comments. Question of the day, who is your favorite boxer of all time? Leave it below. I'm reading every comment. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. When ESBC drop, it's gonna be your #1 spot, all right? If you want the #1 source for ESBC news, and you want fire gameplay when it drop, you in the place to be. So hit that subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I'll see you on the next one. It's Rock, and I'm out. You dig?